Now we have the vision statement, we have our goal, our supports. So now we can underline some of the necessary elements that both support and require an inclusive setting, and we can write those directly into specific goals. So step 4 is use language within your goals that requires an inclusive environment. And this wouldn't be appropriate for every goal, but Dr. Solone, if you can explain really what that means and give us some examples of where this could make sense.
This wouldn't necessarily be appropriate for every goal. And if you're trying to be really specific about the where, you might get a lot of pushback from your IEP team, depending. But for example, you could say an IEP goal could be something like, while participating in 8th grade biology, John will be able to name and describe 4 big ideas from each biology unit, using and then adding in some really specific examples about, when provided with 10 options, we'll be able to pick out 4 of the big ideas from the biology unit. And then that's replicable. It's important to understand what are the big ideas that we're learning here. And or maybe you want to have an IEP goal about the scientific method, right? Will I be able to identify the steps of a scientific method, but making sure you add in there, like where the student should be working on it. You can say things like, when working with a group of non-disabled peers, John will follow the steps of the science lab and have a peer check their work, right? Mm-hmm. Things like that. So really thinking about, what does the goal imply? And so I really like that question that's in the chat about the setting and how so many goals are written to be in a specialist setting. That oftentimes happens because it's how it's always happened, right? And it's what the norm has always been for so long. And so thinking about the setting, what specifically, where am I saying the student is meeting this goal in, the different groups, like when working in a cooperative group with 2 to 4 non-disabled peers, Jane will be able to take turns in 4 out of 5 opportunities. That really gives the opportunity for flexibility and repeated practice in many different contexts. So it's also really powerful for generalization too, because you're not just working on social skills or academic skills in one specific context, but you're working on a bigger set of skills across multiple contexts and with peers and in groups and in natural settings that are going to lend themselves well for a child's ability to thrive later in life.